You didn't choose to be on shift tonight. You didn't request a site lockdown. You didn't pray for a breach siren. And you certainly didn't expect the outer perimeters of a high-security Foundation facility to collapse in under 45 seconds. It begins at 2:14 a.m. You're holding your usual shift mug in the break room when the main power grid doesn't simply cut out. It is violently severed. The primary generators fail to come online, and the secondary backups collapse instantly, before the automated voice system can even announce an emergency. The heavy blast doors at the end of the corridor aren't blown inward by a containment breach from inside. They're cut open from the outside with thermal lance charges. The sirens don't sound for an escaped anomaly. They emit a continuous, brutal double tone that every Foundation employee is taught to fear during basic training. Hostile incursion protocol. The Chaos Insurgency has arrived. Most personnel believe the insurgency is nothing more than a radical splinter faction of mindless terrorists carrying heavy weapons. They are completely wrong. The insurgency was forged by former Foundation operatives, men and women who know our door codes, our containment protocols, our blind spots, and exactly which high-risk SCPs we keep buried in the dark. Across this facility, 5 distinct operational clearance levels are about to face this siege. As you move from an unarmed desk clerk on the surface to the site director sealed inside the central command bunker, you will discover that the insurgency isn't here to burn the Foundation down. They are here because someone inside our own command structure gave them the keys. Welcome to the siege. Level 1, the Unarmed Clerk. Your badge is light gray. Level 1 clearance. It grants you access to exactly 2 places: the Administrative Archiving Wing and the Employee Cafeteria. At Level 1, you do not carry a sidearm. You have never touched a Class A amnestic. You don't even know what the acronym SCP stands for. Your paycheck comes from a Shell Energy Corporation that officially handles regional grid logistics. Then the ceiling collapses. Heavy tactical boots slam onto the linoleum floor right outside your office door. You duck beneath your steel desk, pulling your knees to your chest. Through the frosted glass panel of your door, you see 3 shadowy figures clad in non-reflective dark tactical armor. They don't wear Foundation patches. Their helmets are fitted with heavy chemical filters, and their weapons are equipped with specialized suppressor rigs. These aren't Rogue D-Class. This is a Chaos Insurgency rating cell. Your heart hammers against your ribs at 40 beats per minute. On your desk sits an encrypted terminal containing the unredacted shipping manifests for the entire site's weekly supply run. If the insurgency gets those manifests, they will know exactly which containment sectors hold active biological assets and which ones are running on skeleton crews. You have 2 choices: bolt for the secondary emergency exit or stay for 10 seconds to press the physical purge button on your console to melt the local hard drive. The door handle turns. You make your choice. You lunge, forward slam your palm onto the magnetic emergency purge, and dive through the rear maintenance hatch just as a burst of armor-piercing rounds shreds your office chair. You roll into the narrow utility piping space, gasping for air in the dark. As you crawl through the damp conduit, you hear one of the insurgency operatives speak into his comms. His voice isn't panicked, it's completely calm, carrying an insider's authority. Sector 1 cleared, proceeding to sub-level 3. Tell the insider team that command node, Bravo is open. You freeze in the dark pipe. Insider team. At level 0, you realize the first terrifying rule of an insurgency siege. The enemy didn't break down the front door. Someone unlocked it for them from the inside. Level 2, the Containment Specialist. Your badge shifts to bright blue. Level 2, restricted access. You are no longer an ignorant administrative clerk. You are a containment specialist assigned to monitor mid-tier Euclid and safe-class anomalous objects. You know the dangers of the entities housed in these cells. You know the exact safety clearance protocols, but you never trained for what happens when someone deliberately turns the containment systems off. You are standing in the corridor, C4 observation deck, when the insurgency strike cell breaches Subble 3. Emergency strobes cast violent red reflections off the reinforced glass. But the insurgency team isn't firing randomly at personnel. They aren't shooting out the light fixtures or destroying administrative records. They are moving with terrifying surgical precision. They bypass Cell 104, containing an extremely volatile physical anomaly that could eliminate their entire squad in seconds and proceed directly towards Cell 89. They don't use explosives against the cell door. The squad leader produces an obsidian bypass card, a high-clearance Foundation keycard that should exist only in the hands of site management. Click. The heavy hydraulic locks retract. Through the observation glass, you watch them remove a specific localized memetic blueprint drive. They aren't looting the site at random. They came for specific assets. As you press yourself against the concrete pillar, concealed behind an offline containment terminal, you notice something lying on the floor near the cell threshold dropped by the insurgency commander. A physical paper cipher slip used to decode encrypted field transmissions. You slip from the shadows, snatch the paper, and duck behind a secondary blast barrier. Pay close attention to this detail. Printed at the bottom of that insurgency cipher slip isn't a terrorist manifesto or some chaotic slogan. It is an official clearance stamp bearing the distinct golden insignia of the O5 Council. Why would a Chaos Insurgency strike team be carrying an operational mandate authorized by the absolute highest authority of the SCP Foundation? You don't have time to process the horror of that thought. The heavy iron blast gates behind you begin to groan. The insurgency didn't simply extract their target. They deliberately initiated an automated override on the adjacent Keter-class containment cells. They are releasing the horrors to cover their retreat. Level 3, the senior researcher. Your badge shifts to dark blue with the gold bar, level 3 secret clearance. As a senior researcher, you don't just monitor containment cells. You hold the encryption keys to anomaly research logs, testing parameters, and containment failure scenarios. When the site-wide lockdown triggers, your laboratory doors pneumatically seal, automatically trapping you inside Subble 4 with 3 junior research assistants. The emergency overhead lighting shifts to low crimson. Through the reinforced viewport, you can hear rhythmic suppression fire approaching the central archive terminal down the hall. On your primary desk terminal, a red alert prompt begins flashing. Someone is executing an unauthorized remote data extraction on your sector's secondary archives. The insurgency isn't just breaching physical cells to steal anomalous objects. They are actively downloading core research data on SCP containment parameters. You have less than 30 seconds before their cyber warfare suite bypasses your laboratory's digital firewall. You reach for the physical lockout key hanging around your neck, slot it into the terminal, and initiate protocol clean slate. You watch 3 years of classified anomalous research melt into unreoverable noise on the screen, deliberately destroying your life's work to keep it out of enemy hands. Outside your door, heavy metallic thuds echo through the frame. The insurgency squad has attached breaching charges directly to your blast door. You pull a standard security sidearm from the wall vault, you sharing your junior staff behind the reinforced containment barrier. At level 3, you learn the brutal truth of Foundation science. Knowledge isn't power here. It is a massive target painted directly on your back. And the moment the door ignites in a shower of sparks, you realize the enemy didn't guess where your archive was. They had the exact room layout provided to them beforehand. Level 4, the Breach Response Operative. Your clearance is matte black. Level 4 Field Command and MTF Breach Response. You carry a heavy tactical rifle wearing pressurized CBRN armor with an integrated visual HUD filter. You don't manage paperwork and you don't run experiments. When ordinary site security gets slaughtered in the corridors, your squad, Mobile Task Force New 7 Hammer Down is deployed to clean up the blood and hold the line. You step off the heavy armored transport lift into Sector 7 Heavy Containment. The corridor is absolute hell. The automated defense turrets have been hacked and turned against Foundation staff. Smoke is so thick that your thermal visors struggle to render clear shapes. Down the central corridor, a squad of insurgency shock troopers has set up a heavy machine gun nest behind a barricade of overturned containment crates, suppressing fire. Hold the junction. Your squad leader screams over the comms. This isn't a clean containment procedure, it's brutal. Close quarters infantry warfare inside a labyrinth of concrete and steel. Bullets tear through drywall. Sparks shower from severed electrical conduits, and the screech of breached anomalous containment alarms blare endlessly in your ears. You push forward under heavy fire, tossing a flashbang over the barricade. Your squad breaches the insurgency position. You neutralize 2 hostile operators point blank. But as you kick the rifle away from the fallen insurgency squad leader, you lean down to check his tactical gear for identification. You pull back his ballistic face shield, your blood runs cold. Underneath the helmet isn't a foreign mercenary or a fanatic insurgent. It's Agent Miller, a veteran MTF Alpha 1 operative who was officially reported killed in action during an anomaly retrieval mission 3 months ago. Isn't wearing crude terrorist gear. His armor carries standard Foundation biometric ports, high-grade memetic shielding, and internal Foundation encrypted transponders. He coughs blood onto your visor, smiling bitterly through cracked lips. You still think you're fighting an external enemy, grunt, he wheezes. Check the command frequency. Ask yourself why the MTF reinforcements were delayed by 20 minutes. Before you can pull him up for interrogation, the thermite purge inside his armor activates automatically, incinerating his dog tags and operational data in a blinding flash of white heat. At level 4, you realize the second law of a Chaos Insurgency attack. The line between a loyal mobile task force operative and a Chaos Insurgency infiltrator isn't drawn by ideology. It is drawn by who controls the narrative at the top. Level 5, the Site Director. You hold Level 5 clearance. Site Director. You are one of the most powerful individuals in the Foundation's regional hierarchy. You sit inside Sub-Level 9's sealed, executive bunker behind 3 feet of blast-proof titanium and localized reality anchors. You do not hold a rifle. You manage the board. On your panoramic display walls, Site 19 is burning. Sector 1 is lost. Sector 3 is experiencing multiple Euclid-class breaches. Your security staff casualties are climbing past 60%. Then your direct air-gapped terminal lights up. It's not a message from Regional Command. It's an incoming priority override video transmission from the commander of the Chaos Insurgency Strike Force currently occupying Sub-Level 4. The screen flickers to life. The Insurgency commander stands inside the deep vault of File Archive View. Blood and spent shell casings cover the floor around him. "Good evening, Director," the commander says, his voice heavily modulated through an encrypted vocoder. "You have 10 seconds before I detonate the site-wide nuclear fail-safe." You respond, your thumb hovering over the red master keycard console. "You won't leave this facility alive with those files." The Insurgency commander doesn't flinch. He simply holds up a physical biometric data slate directly to the camera feed. "We aren't stealing your anomalies, Director. We are fulfilling an order. Look at the authorization key on this drive." You zoom your command console onto the digital signature stamped across the bottom of the Insurgency's operational file. It isn't a counterfeit code. It isn't a hacked bypass. It is an official hard-coded directive issued directly from 051, the founder of the SCP Foundation. The Insurgency commander smiles beneath his tactical mask. "Did you really think the Chaos Insurgency was an independent enemy, Director? We are the Foundation's off-the-books disposal team." Your mind reels. The thousands of personnel under your command who have died defending Foundation sites against insurgency raids over decades weren't victims of an external war. They were sacrifices in a pre-planned internal corporate restructuring. Level 6, the Overwatch reveal. You sit back in your leather command chair. Your hand drops away from the nuclear purge console. The Insurgency commander disconnects the feed. On your main security monitors, you watch the Insurgency strike cell pack their gear, load the stolen anomalous drives into heavy transport crates, and march casually out through the secondary cargo bays, unpursued, unhindered, and completely cleared by automated security protocols. You pull up the Master Foundation oversight files. Clearance code, Apollon Arrow. For decades you believed the Foundation was at war with the Chaos Insurgency. You believed in the grand mandate. Secure, contain, protect. Now, reading the unredacted origin archives of the 05 Council, you finally understand the dark, cyclical truth. The SCP Foundation and the Chaos Insurgency are not two separate entities fighting for the fate of humanity. They are two hands of the exact same body. The Foundation creates order, builds containment cells, and accumulates vast, dangerous amounts of anomalous data. But when that data becomes too massive, when personnel begin to learn too much, or when an anomaly threatens to break the logical framework of reality itself, the 05 Council cannot simply delete the files or execute thousands of researchers without starting a civil war inside the organization. So they activate the insurgency, they order a siege, they allow their own sites to be raided, they let junior researchers get killed. They let low-level guards die heroically in dark hallways, and they let the insurgency steal or destroy the exact items command needed erased. Tomorrow morning, the Foundation's Public Relations Wing will issue a site-wide memo to every surviving facility. It will honor the fallen personnel as heroes who died defending humanity against terrorist scum. Morale will reset, security budgets will be doubled, containment protocols will tighten, and the machine will keep turning. You look down at your master console. The site-wide alert auto-resolves. The red lights transition back into a calm, clinical white. You lean back in the dark bunker. You repeat the founding motto. But for the first time in your 30-year career, you understand what it actually means. We secure the lie. We contain the truth. We protect the Foundation from itself. Now, you know what really happens when the sirens blare and the Chaos Insurgency breaches the outer perimeter. You know why the doors get unlocked, why the reinforcements get delayed, and who is actually holding the keys at the very top. If you survive this file, hit the like button and subscribe to keep your security clearance active. And if you want to see what happens when an operative climbs through every operational tier of the Foundation's internal security department, click the video on your screen right now to access the SCP internal security clearance files. Access granted. Stand by for cognitive recalibration.